It's Pete from Cheap Homesteading, and today we're working on the greenhouse, and I'm working on my greenhouse ventilation. As you can see, there's nothing up in the hole at the very top of the greenhouse. A few videos ago, I made a video about putting a fan up there, and I had it running, and it worked good for about 2 or 3 days, and then I got home from work and the fan stopped working. I narrowed it down to just the fan motor gave up. So that's what happens when you buy an old fan. Things can happen. So it really made me think, what if I had the fan running and it was keeping the temperature great, and then all of a sudden the fan stopped or we ran out of power? The greenhouse on a really hot day would probably overheat. So I kind of thought, man, what I should do is look at some way to be able to cool down the greenhouse without power or without something that could cause a mechanical issue. So I looked online and I found these solar activated vent openers. I think that's going to work good. It's basically a shock that when the sun beats on it, it opens up the vent. When it gets cooler, it closes the vent. Really, it should work pretty much indefinitely without power. So I did like that idea. So I'm going to install one in there, and I'm going to make another one above the door. And I'm kind of hoping with both those that it can really regulate the temperature in the greenhouse. So I'm hoping these will do it. So that's what we're going to install today. So let's go. Okay, so in here, it is about 82 degrees. When I first got in here, it was closer to 90. My plants looked like they were a little bit under stress, not bad. So I opened up the side, I got some air movement, but really I want to install the first vent up in that hole, and then on the other side, I want to install one up there. I think between both of them, that's going to probably work very good. I want to put a retractable door, but I'm kind of hoping I could just make it through the year and get into the winter and not put the retractable door in. I just think it's going to be simpler. Yeah, so this is what the automatic vent opener looks like. It comes with a shock, that's what opens it. And it's got this aluminum contraption that looks a lot like a windshield wiper arm. But they say it'll lift 12 pounds. So I think it's reasonably well built, and it really was only, I think, $38. So it's a very good price. So we are going to install that where the fan was, just to see if I can get it to all work. And then we will start working on putting the second vent in. I am going to just use a piece of plywood for my door on this side. And on this side, I have a piece of old plexiglass I'm going to put in here. The reason being, the sun rises here and it sets over here. So if I have a solid door on this side, it's really not going to affect how much light gets in the greenhouse or how much light activates my automatic vent opener. But if I have it on this side, it's going to shade my vent opener. If I had enough plexiglass to do both, I would. I'm kind of trying to use just what I have. Because this thing has become really, really expensive. I'm super glad that I didn't go with a bigger greenhouse than this, because, I mean, the price would just exponentially rise from there. With a greenhouse this style, with homemade vents and everything, I made a big vent, but most of them aren't that big, so there's only so much stroke on these openers. So I had to modify my vent a little bit. I'll show you. I mounted a 2x4 in the center so I can hook the opener to it, and then it should have full range of motion when I open the door. So the door opener is installed. Basically the way this works is you have a wax filled container here, cylinder, that whenever that gets heated up, it pushes on this piston and it opens the door. So tonight I am going to wait till it gets cool enough that the door should be shut and I can adjust it. You adjust it by just screwing in and out on here. And if there's any more gaps left when it is supposed to be shut, I'm gonna have to get some weather stripping and do that. But I think this is gonna work really good. So today was starting to slip away from me. It took a long time to actually get the first vent in, much longer than I thought it was going to. The second one, I did the whole vent, I put the frame in, and it is up and running. I really should have built the first one like it, but you kind of live and learn. So I'll show you how I did it. This is how I did the second frame. I made a very simple H frame. I had an old piece of plexiglass that I saved. And kind of reinforced it just a little bit. Put 2 hinges. And we're gonna have to see if it's gonna shut, but it is kind of on its way. The other one is already shut, but I had this one installed so much longer, so maybe it takes a little bit of time for it to actually close. So I got the 2 automatic vents installed and they're working. I'm gonna come out later to make sure that this one shuts, but they seem to be working good. I think this is gonna be great because you won't need power or anything to open the vents. I may still need to get a fan if I find that the temperature is hard to regulate, but we're just gonna have to see how that goes. Today I had plans of getting the automatic watering hooked up, everything, but it just didn't work out. At least I got the vents installed. Because I didn't get my automatic water hooked up, I need to go and water the plants in here. So that's about enough for today, and you guys have a good one.